Good evening. It is Monday, November 18th, and we have Tikkun Olam. And since I'm doing the Devar Torah, I'll just segue right into that, right?
Yes.
Good. So this week's Torah portion is Chaye Sarah, which is the life of Sarah, but it starts with her death. That's Torah. But I thought it had a fabulous tie-in to Tikkun Olam because Isaac sent his servant to find a wife for him. And they get to the well, and Rebecca not only draws water for the servant, but for all the camels. And Sophia, I don't know if you were there. I once did a family education program where we were toting gallons of water. And can you imagine? It's kind of mind blowing to think she had to go to the well and water all the camels. That's just a lot. So, and it was a fun adult dad. So, I'm sorry, it's Abraham's servants, which makes more sense because Isaac, he's the whatever. So, and this is something that, excuse me, to look for in a mate, someone who's compassionate, somebody who does Tikkun Olam. And certainly in these days, we need more compassion, more empathy, and looking for the kind people. So with that, we can start our meeting.
Thank you. I'm gonna.
Andy, I won't make you chant from your bat mitzvah portion.
No.
I forgot a few of the words. I was in my 30s, I think, but maybe I could have been in my 40s. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, I think we all know each other. I'm gonna skip down to the reports. Andy, you're first. The Green Group Nature Walk and the Make Less Mess Dinner.
They were both very successful.
Yeah.
I will just let you know that we really are putting a push on for a dishwasher, which would be much more energy efficient. It would be much easier for everyone because the way it is now is not a lot of volunteers to wash dishes, which we have done for this, but we feel that the whole congregation should have one, not just for these dinners. And we've put forth effort in that regard, and now we're going to let everyone know that we've put forth that effort. That's as kind as I can be.
Question.
Yeah.
Do we have space and like a water hook?
It's all been done. Everything has been done. But
so it's ready. We just don't have one.
We have presented it. We have done the research. This started in the last president's term. And I'll be very honest, no one has ever gotten back to us. Holly's in favor of it, the rabbis are in favor of it. You can figure out where the gap seems to be happening.
Sharon?
Well,
money has even been offered.
We used to have one.
It's
broke,
broken.
right? So there's space. The space that the old one was in is there.
It's all figured out.
Right.
So is it a board decision then? Is that what's holding us up?
Yes.
So Andy, can I call you to get more details about that? Not now, but some other time, because I am on the board. I'll do what I can.
So let me ask you, has it ever been brought up at the board meetings?
That's what I was going to ask.
No, but I'm sure there's a lot of things that haven't been addressed at the board meeting just because there's so much other stuff that gets addressed at a board meeting. So,
okay. Well, we've dealt with 2 presidents so far.
And maybe I can bring it up.
I just don't know how things work, and I'm used to having someone respond to me if I ask them something 5 times or I've done the work.
Well, I'm asking, so maybe I can push a little or find out some more information. So I'll call you and we'll talk.
Holly knows everything.
Okay.
And she is definitely supportive of our plea.
And while we're on the topic, I went to my very first green group nature walk and I loved it. So I encourage all of you.
Thank you. Right. Well, that's the idea. And they have grown and they it's a successful project. So we're happy about that.
Mhm.
And the dinners everyone loves them when they come. You know, it's a feel good thing, I would say. I don't know, you know, this is not from the green group, but it's not on the agenda. It shouldn't be, but I'm in charge of the soup kitchen
Mm.
for Beth Emmett.
Beth Emmett.
Yeah, and we have our dates. So I just figured while I was talking, I would give you that.
Yes, please.
Yes.
January 29th and July 30th.
So the next quarterly is going out shortly,
Mhm.
and those dates should be the January date should be in there. So if you just type something up and send it to me, I'll make sure I'll give it
Oh,
to
okay.
Stacy
I
and
was gonna
Rick.
say, you mean, is this for the
Well-
Kahila?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't put
Vanessa,
it in.
really? You're
that
gonna,
green
I
group.
mean, the due date was last
Right.
week. It's really gonna get in?
I happen to know that if you
Oh,
got
oh,
it to me by tonight,
Okay, okay,
I happen to know, and I cannot name names, but there's a few
okay,
outstanding
okay.
Well,
articles right
the
now.
due date
Oh.
was Monday, so.
Yeah, so we're,
We've had
Oh, it
times
was-
where we
It
haven't
was
had.
Friday. It was Friday.
Oh, sorry.
I-
Okay.
It was last
Oh,
Friday.
today's
No,
Monday.
I did the green group article on time.
but did
I
you
didn't
put in the
realize-
January
no,
date?
This
No, because
isn't
you didn't
about
have
the
it.
green group.
Yeah, because it's not green group.
Right.
This is
No, I
But
like.
didn't.
I think it
Tikkun
should
Olam.
go in the quarterly.
Okay, that's fine. It's gonna be 3 sentences. It's not a
That's,
big, yeah,
believe me, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Vanessa
since-
has some pull with, you
Yeah.
know.
Since,
No,
since
no.
we're on this topic, how in advance typically do you start advertising for this? Because it's the end of January. I mean, do we start?
I probably wouldn't have done anything until the beginning of January.
Okay.
But people, you know, I don't know. Be fine with me. I don't care. I just think,
If you put in a save the date, just to let people know, you
Okay.
do not know how many times people say to me, I didn't
I
know.
know.
Read your email.
I really think that it should go also to like the older
Yes.
love learning families, because I loved going there with my kids when they were bar mitzvah age.
I so agree.
well, sometimes Ashley puts it in.
Yeah, so I
I
want
can
to,
ask her to, you know,
Yeah.
she's happy to advertise through the
right.
school. But I still think the beginning of January is soon, you know,
but
people.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I think beginning
Um,
of January is fine. People have too much other stuff going on right now.
Right,
anyways.
exactly. That's why it's gonna.
Yeah, just as a question, I think that would be good after the new year.
Okay. I
All
will do that.
right. Then the next topic is the Hanukkah gift collection, gift drive. It looks like we keep selling out.
It's been gangbusters.
Right, really quickly. We initially we had 50 gift wishes that Lynn made as candles, if you've seen the board. And those went in like 2 days. So we asked for another 50, and those are now gone.
Oh,
So now we have a kind of oh, there it is. Yep. So we have a sign-up sheet. How many, is it still 2?
It's
when you
just
look?
2, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, and then I got 3 more on Facebook.
Okay.
So we have 5, and I know some people. So tomorrow I'll probably ask, I'm thinking for 10.
wait, 10, wait. Sophia, you have to explain this. For those of
Okay.
us, 10 what?
10 gift wishes.
Oh, another 10?
Yes,
Okay.
because, yeah, so
Okay.
we've given out 100,
Gotcha.
and have you looked at, do they have their candles on top of them?
They do.
Okay, good. That's, yep, I see them. Okay, so we've given out 100, and right now we have a wait list. That's what I'm calling it, of about 5. So I think that if I ask for 10, because I know I didn't get one yet.
Yeah, I
uh,
didn't take
either.
one.
Yeah,
So like, so how many from this room want one?
I would do one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mine.
What?
I have mine.
Okay, so 4, and we have about 5 on the wait list.
Andy has her hand up.
Yep.
All right, no, I'm not putting my
Oh.
hand up for that. I have
Oh.
a question about it.
Yes, go ahead.
I took one at the very beginning.
Mhm.
The person it has 3 wishes. And
Yes.
I would be happy to share that. I mean, I have a choice. The first one I could spend the whole amount on, or I could get a cheaper version and do other, but you know, I don't know how that could.
No, I don't share. It'd be too difficult to track.
Okay.
So you could, and you don't have to get all 3. You get
No, I
1, 3,
understand.
whatever it is.
I will, I
But
thought we
yeah,
were supposed to spend about $50.
yeah. So
And when did I do?
it's when is it due?
Yeah,
December 1st.
that's what I thought. Okay. Okay.
What, the gift is due December 1st?
The gift
Yes.
is due December 1st.
Oh, then take me off. I can't do it. No, I'm gonna be out of town, so it's not gonna work. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem. All right, so I'm gonna call tomorrow and ask for 10 more, and we'll see what we get. Oh, here's Amy. Hi, Amy.
So I went to the coffee and donuts for Love
Mhm.
Learning on Sunday, and a lot of people had questions. So it was probably good that I was there because I could answer questions. And the big one is, wait, do I get all 3 wishes? Or what if wish number 1 is actually more than $50? And you know, those, and the answers, of course, are no, you don't have to get all 3. And if the wishes are more than $50, get them something that is under $50 or possibly a gift card. So some of the wishes were more than $50.
And $50
And that's okay.
really is the limit.
Yes. So I said, if a person, if their first choice is a Kindle, you're just not going to be able to get the Kindle for $50. There's no way. So their second choice is a gift card, maybe go with the gift card.
Any other questions about it? About the gift drive? I think for next year, we have some ideas of also perhaps creating like an Amazon gift, like wish list. So people, because we did have quite a few people who were like, can we just, send money or send this? So I think it would be easier if we had something online as well.
And then people do it remotely.
Amy,
Yeah.
you can't hear us? Can
Turn your
start-
volume up.
Can you hear us? Doesn't seem like it.
Oh, she can't see.
Yeah. Are you trying something, Vanessa?
Well, she needs to turn the volume up, but she can't read our lips, so it's not up on. I'm texting her.
All right. I'm gonna move on to.
Although, you know what? She doesn't have a mic. I don't know. There's something wrong. Um, sign off and sign on again.
Try on your phone.
You're right. Your mic is not even there. Oh, she can't see that. Okay. So hopefully when she comes back on. Okay. I wanted to say, to Lynn and Sophia, we decided this kind of, chick-chock, and the response has been absolutely amazing. We knew we had a short time. We knew we had to get it out there, and people really stepped up to the plate. So
Yeah,
now you can hear us, right, Amy?
Now I can hear you.
Awesome.
we
Yeah.
were, we
Okay.
didn't want to ask for too many wishes because we were worried, what if we have
Yes.
30 left at the end? Do these kids just not get anything? But I think we forget we have what, 600 families now. So, I mean, maybe we ask for 100 at the beginning next time, and we can
Yeah.
even make it bigger.
Yeah.
We'll see how things
So-
go.
Lynn and Sophia, where did the wishes come from? Where?
They're for JCFS, which is the Jewish Children and
And
Family
family service.
Services.
Uh-huh,
So
Great.
they provide
great,
it's for their clients, and they provide us with the list of wishes.
wonderful. Thank you.
And one of the questions we got from several people was, are these children Jewish? And we said, well, they're clients of this Jewish organization, but I don't think that necessarily means they have to be Jewish, because I don't think that organization turns people away if they're not Jewish.
I
So
think you're right.
that was my
Mhm.
answer.
Good answer.
Mhm. Amy.
So I might have missed a lot, which I know I did, but I was gone. I was out of the country and I missed getting the opportunity. So they're all gone. So I went on a little wish list that if you reinstate it, that I can do it at that point. Is that how you're doing that?
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm trying to get for today, by today, trying to see how many more people are still interested, so I could ask one more time, because this is gonna be my third time asking for wishes. If I could ask them one more time. So I'm trying to get an idea of how many people we still need wishes for. I think right now we're talking about 10, which is, I don't want to ask for 50 and only 10 people are interested. So that's why we started the wish list. So if you're interested,
Right.
let me know.
I am.
Okay. Yeah, I know Ashley tagged you on the
I saw that.
and
Oh, I
things.
thought she did it for me.
No, okay. So maybe I'll ask for 12. Just to be on the safe side, and we can always make up if there's any extra, but I think he'll be like 1 or 2.
And I don't want to be pessimistic, but there's a chance some candles may not come back.
Right.
There's always a certain margin of error. And I just
Mhm.
assumed that maybe, I would help if
Right.
it doesn't come in.
Right. Yeah, that's too. And I think that's why the due date is so early, is because JCFS is also figuring that not all the wishes are coming in. So it's giving them time as well to shop if they need to. But hopefully we don't put them in that situation.
And it sounds like they will come pick up, which I'm
Yes.
thrilled about.
Yeah, they
We'll just
got in
need to
touch
be
with
here.
Sophia, who got in touch with me, and they're coming December 3rd.
Great.
Mm. So
Do we
be
want to
there.
go over all these items before December
Yes.
3rd? I think we need to.
yeah, that's why I asked for December 1st, because that'll
Okay.
give us the weekend to see if we need to do any last minute shopping and make sure that we have everything. So plan.
Oh, and by the way, the gift cards are in the office and Stacy's desk, because we didn't want to just leave them in the lobby.
Okay. All right, next thing, any other questions on this before I move on? Which is the Deerfield Free Store. So Joanne.
Okay, so I don't know how much you know, because I haven't been at the last couple of meetings. They're trying to become part of the Ministry of Holy Cross, so that some of the administrative stuff can be done by the church. So I think Dennis and Laurel are working on that, and I think that's going to work okay. Both Dawn and Aaron are trying to pull back a little bit. So we're trying to give them some time. One of us will close or open, or so she's working on that, even though I think Dawn is pretty attached to it. So I don't know how much she's actually gonna pull away. And we're always looking for more volunteers. Was a suggestion that for the B'nai Mitzvah kids, if there's any time or any hours that they need, it's a great opportunity to work there. They have to be, although I thought they had to be 18. Oh, if they're under 18, they have to have an adult with them. And let's see if anybody, they found Belinda's friend. I don't know if you know John. He has a truck and he's willing to haul furniture for us, for them, which has been difficult because people have furniture or large items and they can't get it to the store. So he's willing to use his truck after the Optimist Christmas tree sale to haul furniture or large items. So that was good news. If any teenagers are interested in helping on Tuesday or Sunday, if they're, because that's when the things are delivered, furniture is delivered, so they could help lift the stuff. And what else? Let's see. Oh, and Linda suggested if anybody has a contact with a mosque, because there could be also another kind of religious congregation that could help out or be interested in helping. So that was a really good idea.
I would talk to the clergy because, and see if they have any contacts with different imams in the area.
Oh, okay.
I definitely do not. Yeah.
Well, I think Maida Levin probably does, because
Oh,
I remember when I was more involved with Lake County United, we actually went to a mosque.
yeah.
Sharon, can you
okay.
confirm that?
Yeah,
Don't you think Maida
the
was there?
Northern Illinois, whatever mosque that's out in, I
Where'd we
forget the
go?
name of the little town. It's near Libertyville, but it's
Right, it was.
it's part of Lake County United. And so we have contacts with members there.
If you talk
but-
to Maida Levin, she should.
The other
right.
person who might know is Laura Frisch.
Right, there's the
Right.
one in
Well-
Morton Grove, right?
Yes, there's a mosque right by us in Morton Grove,
Yeah.
and Laura's got contacts there.
Yeah.
I thought there was one also on Sanders before it turns into Saunders North.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
like
it's in
big
Northbrook.
gold.
Yeah, we don't
Northbrook,
have
right.
contacts
That'd
there
be-
though. I mean, I don't know of people, somebody else might. Or maybe Rabbi Ike knows.
Yeah. Okay, and as far as the B'nai Mitzvah kids, would it be good to speak to Simca
No.
or the Lev Learning?
Yeah, talk to Ashley.
Okay. Okay,
That would be something
And-
good for the Madrahim too.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
The Madrahim, that's the teenage helpers, the teenagers
Okay.
post bar bat mitzvah age. But
Dawn just spoke to a group of 8th graders from St. Norbert's, and it was pretty interesting. She said we're over 1,100 families served and 26 countries, so it's pretty inspiring. And I think that's it.
thank you. Maida, just in time. It's your turn. That worked out well.
Okay, I have two things. Do you want Lake County United first, or do you want RAC Illinois first?
Whatever you want.
Okay. So both of them involve meetings. So wait a minute here, I'm getting the right notes for the right one here. I need to color code these. My other notebooks are color coded. Okay, so RAC Illinois. RAC Illinois is planning a December 8th meeting at Beth Emmett in Evanston. However, it's going to be a hybrid meeting. There will be Zoom, there will be a Zoom link, and there also are going to be 2 watch parties, one at Oak Park Temple and one at Or Shalom in Vernon Hills. I talked to the nice lady from Or Shalom today, and she's not sure how this is all gonna work, but I hope she figures it out, because I'm not gonna be there. I'll be at probably the in-person one. But the purposes of the December 8th meeting, as I understand them, are, number one, to come together after the election, acknowledge that we have work to do, and ask what, as Reformed Jews, we can do. What do we want to do? What do we want to focus on? And where might we have the greatest impact? There might or might not be a speaker. We're also going to talk a little bit about Karina's bill, which hasn't even come up for a vote, but which they're expecting to come up for a vote in the lame duck session. So they're going to ask in this December 8th meeting, not only what can we think we can do as Reformed Jews, what do we want to do, and how can we motivate people in our congregations to participate in whatever we decide to do. I wish I could say that this was more focused, but then we come to Lake County United. So everybody put, the December 8th meeting, we believe at this moment that it's going to be from 1:30 to 3. And that is so any of you who are Bears fans can get in front of the TV in time for the kickoff. Okay. Then we come to Lake County United. Lake County United is planning actually 2 meetings, but the one that I have the most focus on is January 19th. It's not going to be a big meeting. They don't know where it's going to be yet. This drives me nuts. But it essentially is going to be very much the same thing, except that it's going to be built around listening sessions. Someone will give a presentation on what we are focusing on and what we have been focusing on, which is the mental health, the gun safety, and mostly the housing issues. And then we're going to break out into listening groups, not focus groups, listening groups. Sharon knows what that is. Some of you who've been around know what that is. And what we're going to do is listen in each group. What are you concerned? Are these your concerns? Are there other concerns that you have? What do you think we ought to work on? Do we need training for the kinds of things that we're working on? So they gave us an example. DuPage United, which is our sister organization in DuPage County, recently had one of these, and they came up with, there was an issue with the traffic in an area where there were a lot of little children. And so they went door to door, and there was some big apartment complex with a lot of little kids there. And they went door to door, and they said, what are your concerns? And the big concern was the traffic. So they invited the people who lived there to organize and meet with their elected representatives, and lo and behold, they got a traffic light up there. So that's the kind of thing they're talking about. So these are the 2 that I would implore you to put on your calendars. The January 19th, we're not looking for an enormous turnout. We're looking for people who have thought about this and who are capable of thinking, capable of considering and listening to other people. And the December 8th, similar groups. Any questions, I will try to answer. And yes, I put my hand up, like I have my head examined. I put my hand up and I'm on the program committee.
Of course you are.
Of course I am.
Thank you for representing us.
Oh,
I
I'm gonna
think I
get one of
speak
you
for
now.
everyone on this call.
No, but really, people, of them, you all understand this. And if there's somebody in the congregation you know who would be interested in either one, I think it would be a good place for other people in the congregation to both of these is because they give you an opportunity to say, these are the things that concern me. I want to be involved in perhaps finding some solutions or taking steps towards finding a solution. Sharon has heard me say over and over and over again, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Alice has heard it. And that's basically what these are.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, Cantor J and Susan Benjamin's programs at 9:30 Lox and Bagels, 10 to 11. And we have to be, it's in the sanctuary and we got to be out of there by 11:01.
What day is this?
Sunday, December 8th.
You're on mute. Okay. Next thing is the upcoming speakers for Tikkun Olam Shabbat, Sharon.
So December 20th is Refugee One. Alan Green arranged, the speaker is Zachary Dimitrico, and we've asked them about a collection. I haven't heard yet if there's something that we can collect for them. January 17th is Vosel. It's
Wait. It's not January, Sharon. You said January again. You said,
December 20th is
oh, but you said
Refugee One.
okay, you said,
December 20th is Refugee One.
okay. Gotcha.
January 17th is Vosel.
Mhm.
This is an organization that Lou Hellebrush is on the board of. Some of us, Lou spoke about it, I don't even know, maybe 6 years ago, before the merge. It's an organization that started out providing services to children from birth to kindergarten. They work with the families on how to educate your children, provide enrichment for your children. Then when Chicago Public Schools started providing pre-K services for all children 4 and up, they took the ages down. So I'm not sure if it's 0 to 3 now or 0 to 4. But it's a wonderful organization in Chicago, and the one of the or the executive director is going to speak, Jesse Ilhart. February, we've talked about having Jewish Disability Awareness Month, and I'm not sure that that's set yet for a speaker.
I'm still looking.
But that's going to be the topic. And March is the Deerfield Free Store. Laurel is going to come and speak. She's one of the lead people there. She runs the children's room, and we'll collect something for them in March. And then April we'll discuss with the Green Group and decide what we want to do. And that's as far as we've gone.
Great.
I think,
Any questions?
yeah, I have my hand up.
No.
I think Vanessa, didn't we decide on April 6th? Oh, that's not Tikkun Olam, that's
It's Sunday morning.
that's the Sunday.
And we did.
Okay, so we're happy to do, we will do something for April for the, if we can, for
Okay.
Tikkun Olam.
And we
Sure.
had, maybe we'll, yeah, when the program committee talked about it, there was a couple ideas too, so maybe we'll all brainstorm, see what would be best. But yes, it's something to do with Earth Month.
Okay,
Yeah.
won't be hard. So it's the 18th? Yeah.
You always come up with great things, Andy. It is April 18th, yes.
Well, I'm just thinking, I don't know if it's the right group, but we're really gonna be working on the Eco Ambassador program, which is for kids, I know it's 14 or 15 to 18. It's through Faith in Place, and it's a summer program that educates, it gets them into community work, they get a stipend, and it's a great thing on resumes. But I don't know if, if we bill it right and people come that night, that
I
would be,
think you need to go to the school to Love Learning.
yeah, well, anyway, I have actually, but it was just
Yeah.
really got to have parents there too, I think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
It's
that
good
sounds like
timing.
something that would be good for high school kids that might
Yeah.
not necessarily be part of Love Learning, because I don't get the emails for Love Learning anymore. But I still have a high schooler, so I would,
Right. So when would you want to hear it, Sophia? When would you think you would be listening to that?
if we did that for,
We haven't come up, we have talked to Ashley, who runs the program, but it's just sort of everybody's got a different opinion about what would be the most effective way to communicate.
My suggestion is, I'm pretty sure we can find out people who have high school kids.
mhm,
And we have now these Shabbat and Shmooze, and if we met before services, I don't know if I can get you a date, yada, 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 but maybe that's a time, and then ask people to stay, because you need more than 5 minutes on the Bima.
right.
Right, yes, I know that, right, that's another, I forgot about that. I thought about that for the other program. Okay, and I actually haven't heard back. I emailed Faith in Place about this to see what they would look for in a program, how many people, and if it would be virtual or not. And this would be something we could really share with few other congregations. We're not in a competition for this. It's just to let people know about it. It's such a great opportunity.
And you know what? I know people come to me because they may not be looking for what for 18-year-olds to do, but for 14-year-olds, they're looking for something for them to
I
do.
think they have to be 15.
Yeah, see, if you could get it to 14.
Yeah, I'm not in charge. I think it's 15 to 18.
Yeah.
I have a
I
16.
have it in something. I don't know. I have it somewhere, but I'll look it up and I'll confirm that, but
Okay.
pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it makes sense because
Yeah.
they'll be in high school by 15.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, we're gonna promote this and we have a jump on it because it's not May and it's a summer program. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're on to new business. Lynn, Human Needs Fund.
So the Human Needs Fund asked Sophia and myself to attend their meeting last Monday. As you may recall, end of year last year, we did a Human Needs Fund drive, if you will, fundraising drive, and asked people to contribute to the Human Needs Fund. So the Alan Green, the people that are doing human needs, hoped to do that again this year. And the board said no, because the board is doing a big end of year fundraising campaign for the entire congregation. You may be I think the email went out today,
Yeah.
actually.
And
Okay.
the letter
Letters.
went out. There
We
was
got
a snail
letters.
mail letter last week.
Yeah. I
Oh,
got a
okay, so
letter.
there was a letter, and I believe an email from clergy went out today.
Yes, I got the email.
They felt that they couldn't, the board felt we can't do 2 campaigns at the same time. So that end of year fundraising for the congregation is really to try to bridge the gap in the budget. And they are trying to, the board is very concerned with balancing the budget. So, and they've made amazing strides, along with, our membership recruitment and the office, and all sorts of people have worked very hard to try to bring in new members and increase contributions and such. And that has been very successful. In addition to the previous, in June, we did the gala, and there was some fundraising associated with that. So this is all good news, but the board wants to use the end of year campaign to go toward the entire congregation. So Human Needs is asking, so what do we do? And I'm like, I don't really know. But I said I would, be happy to talk to the board. They would also like to have a bit of a platform in terms of either a Tikkun Olam Shabbat or some other time to speak to the congregation. And Sophia and I said, probably, but we're booked up till April or May. I didn't know exactly what date that was, and they would like to do something sooner. And I said, we've already locked in some speakers. And if I'm recalling, I think Human Needs did a Tikkun Olam Shabbat last year. And I don't know if we want to repeat that again, although contributions to the Human Needs Fund are certainly important for us and for them.
Well, if Alan's speaking in December for the refugee one,
Not speaking.
He's not.
He got somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, he's introducing.
I don't think so.
I was like, oh, maybe he could say this is part of our human needs.
No, we
No,
gotta
no,
keep
no.
those short, people.
Yeah.
I know.
And the other thing, they feel that people just don't understand what the Human Needs Fund does, and do people really even understand what the Tikkun Olam Committee does? And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. I hope so. I feel like we talk about it a lot.
I did ask some people about that.
Yeah.
And people do know Tikkun Olam more so than human needs. So.
Lynn,
Yes.
I really think this is something that the Macomb Solel Lakeside Board has to take up, because
I agree.
I'm not sure how many people, this was a Solel thing, but the way Solel got its money, and it was lots of money, was there was a line item on the budget. Now that's gone away since we merged. And I think the board has to, if Human Needs is going to be a part of our congregation, I think the board can't just say, okay, Alan, and I think it's Floyd, you go do your thing. I think
Floyd is
figure out where does the money going to come from?
right. Floyd has dropped out, but
Floyd has dropped out.
I think, yeah, Alice, I think what you're saying that is, if this is part of our mission and vision, which I believe it is, then it should reflect in the budget.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%.
1,000%. One of the things I did mention at the meeting is that the board is currently putting together a 5-year plan, which includes both a financial 5-year plan and I'm not sure how to put this, a cultural 5-year plan, or what is our goal and mission as a community 5-year plan. As far as I know, the reaching out to various groups hasn't occurred yet. But when it does, we need to make sure that it's said, our congregation has said that philanthropy in Tikkun Olam is one of our core values, but it hasn't been funded. So that needs to be rectified. And I hope that helps. Maybe I'm overly optimistic about that. I can say that the current board is extremely concerned with balancing the budget. For good or bad, that is what it is. And I'm not a numbers person. It's really good that I'm not in charge of the money because I would have given it all away by now. So, and we do need to keep the electricity on, you know. So anyway, that is something that the board plans to do. And I think we all need to say, if Tikkun Olam is one of our core values, then that needs to be reflected in the budget.
Yeah, Lynn, do you need reinforcements at some board meeting? No, seriously, because a lot of people on this call tonight might have been part of the working group for Tikkun Olam. And I don't know if any of the rest of you were on it, but I was. And
I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry.
Well, when Macomb and Lakeside merged, there were working groups for all sorts of things. And there was a working group for Tikkun Olam. And I remember very distinctly, I mean, what came out of it was, we want to be known as a Tikkun Olam congregation. Well, if you're going to be a Tikkun Olam congregation, you just can't shuffle it off to the side. Then you have to put your money where your mouth is, or otherwise forget being a Tikkun Olam. I mean, I feel we are doing amazing things, but you need money to do some of this stuff.
No, I don't know. I feel like everyone's pretty, sorry, Andy, I just spoke. I was just gonna say, just going back to this toy drive, the response has been like so overwhelming, and people have been, on top of just getting toys, people have been asking, can they donate money? Can they do this? So I think one necessarily doesn't have, I don't feel like and I don't know, I've only been doing this for a little bit in this, but we haven't like really had to ask for money for much other than the speakers occasionally. I don't even know what that is. But, and in terms of human needs, I think a big, or at least a portion of the human needs used to go to, if I'm understanding it correctly, and I might be completely off, so please tell me if I am, but I think a portion of it used to be to help congregants who couldn't afford dues. But we're not in that situation anymore because it's not voluntary dues, but it's your own commitment. So if you can't afford anything, then that's on you. I know that we also help other organizations, but a lot of people, and maybe, I can't speak for everybody, but I know a lot of people, they want to donate to who they want to donate. They don't want somebody else donating on their behalf. So go ahead, Alice.
Well, Sophia, a couple of things. In terms of, my understanding was, it wasn't helping congregants who couldn't afford their dues. It was congregants that got into hot water for whatever reason, losing a job, a divorce, medical expenses. That was my understanding. It was to be helping. And also in
that situation, yeah.
Well, the other thing I was going to say in response to what you said about giving to other organizations, you're absolutely right. But I think it's just that this thing has gone on and on and on. And I think it has to be, I think the board has to take, I can't think of the word, I'm having a senior moment, but they have to take
ownership.
Ownership. Thank you, Sharon. ownership of it, what do you want human needs to be? And how do you want to fund it? Those two things. What do you want? It's your creation. It's our creation. It didn't just get thrown in. And so what do you want it to be and how do you want to fund it? I mean, I think the board has to take that up.
And on a similar
question.
note, we've volunteered or asked to do fundraisers to fund what we do,
Right.
and that we were told not to. I plan to bring that up again. I don't see why we can't sell candy or whatever. Yeah. Also, Sophia
Andy's got
mentioned,
her hand.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, go ahead, Andy.
I've heard this asked, and maybe you could just answer as a board member. I've heard some conversations. Why do we have this shortfall of so much money? Was it because unexpected things happened, or the budget wasn't clear, or it's a lot easier to understand the human needs ask, and there's lots of other asks all the time. I mean, you could sponsor this, and you give for, it's constant. But why is this?
Okay, I'm not a numbers person, but
But I've heard.
we're definitely not the only congregation that has a shortfall, for sure. I mean, I think everybody's experiencing this, so I'll say that. When the two congregations merged, I'm probably oversimplifying things here, but when the two congregations merged, the sale of the Lakeside building was intended to last a finite amount of time. I didn't realize that. I thought, oh, we're set for life. No, we are not. So because we have two sets of clergy, and which is great, and that's absolutely not a complaint at all. That's an expense. And then of course there's all the regular expenses like keeping the lights on, funding all the security.
But the point is, there's a budget. They figured all these things out. How can we be that? They did that
The
in.
budget was never balanced.
We all.
As far as I know, I wasn't here before.
I think I was here before. I think
Okay.
also a big change is this community commitment model that has now also affected the religious school. So Lev Learning we used to pay for Lev Learning, our religious school. Now that is coming out of our operating budget, which is part of your community commitment. And we have so many new people and new members, which is great, but most of them are giving the minimum, which is not enough to cover operating dues plus the school.
I can understand that.
Okay, and we have more kids, so we need more resources
Cheers.
to fund them. And so that has been part of, the reason why we're in a shortfall. And right now we're just trying to balance it. And unfortunately, that is causing other programs to be
Cut.
And it's difficult. We say, let's have a fundraiser, but it's really difficult to keep asking for money for different things.
And that's what I was gonna say, Lynn. There is some overall approach, and you don't want to ask somebody to buy 2 candy bars when they could give you $2,000.
Right.
And
That's
so
true.
we need to be part of that bigger picture. And I think though, what Alice said is that if our mission and vision is Tikkun Olam, then it should be in the it should be reflected in the budget. And I've done exercises, I'm pretty sure, my professional group at Lakeside where is all your money going to? And listen, there are certain things you can't cut. you know, snow plowing, which thank God last year we didn't have a lot, but, and, you know, another thing that's gonna have to be redone soon is the damn parking lot.
Oy.
It's a, you
Horrible.
know, I'm afraid every week that something's gonna happen out there.
I'll also say, I think we've had in the last, couple years, a huge increase in security.
Oh, yes.
It's
And I
Huge.
think,
astronomical.
That's another issue as far as I'm
right, so, but the security, it costs and
And I think we should know, I want to know more about how that's increasing and why and what.
It's not
I,
us.
I am somebody who goes way back, both of us, and we do not feel any secure than we did when Lori Dan started
Well-
shooting, and then everybody did everything on and on and on, and we're not improving, and yeah.
they've actually, there is a lot that was done with security behind the scenes. So
Does that make?
I feel a lot more secure going into the
No,
building than.
I don't. We don't.
But that's because we're not sharing, they are not sharing everything that they did, but they have done a lot. Supposedly.
But
And there are continuing security
Yes.
improvements that
Right.
are being
There've been
implemented,
assessments done. I
Yeah.
know that.
and some additional infrastructure type security things are still yet to happen.
I'd like to get more at the cause of why we are so worried about security and address something deeper.
I think that's
Well,
something that would
that's
have to happen on a
people-
societal
No
level.
level, right? That's a
You start
huge.
here. There's a woman, a Jewish woman who has a sign on her garage. She always has had all these signs. It says, "Let Gaza live." And two of her neighbors have said they didn't. She said, "Well, why don't you come over? I'd be happy to, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation." And that is how you make progress with security. Anyway. There's other examples. I just had this one right there. We could spend a lot more money on working on dialoguing. That would make me feel more secure. Okay, sorry.
All right, I think that was the last. I have one other thing that I was going to bring up really quickly. I know that we had talked about it a couple meetings ago, an idea to have a kind of a mini mitzvah day on a Havdalah. So I did reach out to everyone today. Stacy is on board. It seems like the clergy is on board to do a Havdalah. They just need to go through the calendar and see if we could find a Saturday, in which case, once I get a date, then we can reach out to, there's a number of different organizations that we could reach out to and see, if we could actually do a project. So my vision was to have a dinner, a Havdalah, or Havdalah first, because it's depending on when in the year this will happen, dinner, and then some sort of activity, a Tikkun Olam activity project, all ages. So we'll see where that goes. But it's in I started the ball rolling.
I would love to do an activity instead of
Mhm.
just people bringing in things and dropping
Yeah.
it in the basket, or the bin by
Right.
the office. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I would love to do an activity.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe instead of, we're not ready for a full mitzvah day, but maybe like having little things in the middle of the year that everyone,
Does the night ministry take sandwiches and food?
they might, we might be able to make, I'm just trying to get a date first.
Yeah,
That I think that's the hardest hurdle
agreed.
is to get on the calendar. And once we get,
Because again, as we get larger, we have more B'nai Mitzvah, more
Right.
parties. So the space and time is precious.
right. So that's why,
You
I'm
don't want to
hopeful.
do it, the week between Christmas and New Year's. I mean, there's just the times that are up, spring break, stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Right, so,
Passover, Easter.
right. So if and when we get a date, I think we will not have a problem finding an activity.
I have an activity that I'm going to bring up to the women's group. I don't really think it's definitely doable, and I'm sure it will get done. It's making care packages for women who have come in to have abortions in Illinois. And the clinics are taking them up. They're hooked up with Planned Parenthood. But anyway, I have no doubt that when I just got onto it, that the women's group will do that. So I
I
don't
think that would be very popular.
Yeah, I do too. I think it'll be exactly, and so we give a little money for the stuff, but it's National Council of Jewish Women is doing it.
Yeah.
So,
I keep thinking about what Maida said, and even our speaker on Sunday said that we just can't give up. And this group is always willing to volunteer and work and do some of the very hard work. And I keep telling myself, because it's been a hard 2 weeks, we can't give up. We can't give up.
right. Just can't.
Yeah.
I still have black ribbons on my trees though, but I'm going to see when the mourning period is over. I won't leave them up until they
Love you, Andy, more than I already did.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
I got up at 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning after the election. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Then I thought maybe I should have cut them, like, for
Like what you do at
We rend our
Right.
clothing.
right.
Priya.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I think the last thing is, we need to just, when do we want to meet again?
Traditionally, we often skip December just
December.
because so many people, go out of town. There's a board meeting December, I want to say 16th, so I can't do that one.
The
Let me look.
23rd, I'll be away.
I will be
9th
away.
Right,
I'll
the
be away.
9th is just a couple weeks away.
So I think we're looking at January.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to go to January.
January 20th is inauguration day.
I think
Hey,
since Vanessa, will not be watching inauguration. I think it would be a fitting
It's-
memorial to
It's
that
also
day.
Martin
Okay,
Luther King.
yeah, that's Martin
Oh,
Luther
yeah, we can't
King
do that,
Jr.
can't
Day.
do
We
that.
can't do that.
Do we, seriously, they have inauguration day
Yeah.
on Martin Luther King?
Well,
Yeah.
it's always January.
The
20th.
holiday.
Well, yeah, and that'd be during the day anyway.
Yeah.
So
You want to do the
we
13th?
well, do we know when the board
meeting.
meeting is that month? Or
The board meeting is the 13th.
Okay,
sometimes we've done a Tuesday night after Martin.
That would be great, because the 27th, Rabbi Mafik has a current events on Israel class.
no,
So should we switch to Tuesday
That's
for January?
yeah,
That'd
we
be great.
could do the
Can we
21st.
do the 21st?
I mean, I
Vanessa, can
think
you check
so.
the calendar? Yeah.
I'm looking at, there's nothing on the calendar.
Okay,
So it's the 28th?
21st.
21st.
Oh,
January.
Yeah, I think we did Tuesday last year
I
because of
think we
Martin
did.
Luther King
I
Day.
think you are correct.
It was so nice.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
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 Have a happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Happy.
Have a happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Happy